And so what we do is we very much focus on the strategy behind digital signage and the role that it can play within the environment. So we're working with retailers and financial and hospitality environments and helping them sort of understand how they can take advantage of all this technology and what it means to actually bring that into their environment, how it can sort of transform the experience, how it can give an opportunity to deliver a better experience and to communicate more effectively with the visitors or with their consumers. So we really kind of focus on really demonstrating the value behind this technology and what it means and what it's capable of doing for them. Busy is an understatement. It has been flat out since day one, since January 1st. It has been a very busy year. I think it still comes back to mobile phones. I still think that's people are still figuring out what is this cross-channel experience. How do you connect? Use the phone to connect with the screen and vice versa. I think people are realizing that the screen can only do so much. There's a role for it, but then how do you sort of deliver that experience to the customer? But again, it all starts from the digital display. So there needs to be more emphasis on this kind of two-way type of technology back and forth. These applications that you can deliver content to a screen and still be able to deliver that onto a person's mobile device. So I think that's the next wave, is having more of those applications come, these two-way type of applications. So it's not a siloed experience, that it's a connected experience. So there's usually about a good 10 things that we come away with here that we'll take back to our studio, put underneath the microscope, and really kind of understand how can we introduce that to our clients and how can we demonstrate to them the value behind it. So I think things here that are pretty interesting. Simon actually had some really interesting things as far as where data management through their mobile device, ComKey with their passport application, kind of doing the same thing and of a two-way type of communication. I was really intrigued with the things that we saw in Planner's booth. Obviously with the transparent LCD, I think that being a really interesting technology. I think we saw it last year. I didn't think it was quite there yet. I think where it's at now, we can really see it kind of going into a visual merchandising strategy. I like their micro tiles. I think as a designer, I kind of feel like it's a really unique element that we can see bringing into an environment, really creating a nice, unique digital canvas with it. So I think things like that, I have to learn about it more, have to figure it out, have to play with it, really touch it. But things like that have definitely got the mind spinning of what we can do with it. So I still think there's a good maybe 5 to 7 years. I think for that really to happen. I think the problem is you still have these two different generations. Millennials, they're becoming obviously quick adopters. The next generation behind us, obviously the ones that's going to push this forward. And I think it's a matter of them just getting older, which I think over the next 5 to 7 years, they're going to be the ones that are really pushing it because they want that. They're growing up with all these technologies, and for that not to evolve as they get older, as obviously that's a problem that we can't afford to happen. So I think that's where I kind of say next 5 to 7 years. My generation, I'd say half of us are can experience that or can understand that. I think half of us still just don't get it. Oh, new this year. Yeah, lots. I think for us, we're trying to do a lot more into Europe. So we're investing more in our company over there. We've always had a presence in London, but I think this year we're kind of putting more emphasis on expanding ourselves over there. We're getting a lot more involved with design agencies and then or architectural firms. So there's definitely educating ourselves so that we can work more cohesively with those types of organizations. And I think there's some other big things that I think will probably come out towards the end of the year that will just start to surface for us. So I think in the next 6 months, I think you're going to see some interesting headlines. I think we did 5 so far. But it's nice because for one, the amount of exposure and seeing other speakers and hearing a lot of other sessions that maybe I would not have had an opportunity to participate in, I really got a chance to really interact and sort of understand on what was being delivered. I was fortunate to participate in 2 of the pre-show sessions. The one being the new design directives dynamic environments session that was really interesting, and I gave a presentation on reimaging the retail environment. So sort of about how can designers rethink really what the environment experience is through technology. In the afternoon, the hands-on content workshop that we started last year, that came back again this year, which is continuing to evolve. I think we really kind of figured out the bugs from last year, and I think this year more impactful, more engaging, even more better intended than it was last year. So I think we really got the message clear, and I think that showed obviously as it was marketed. Some of the other ones that I was fortunate at least to moderate, one this morning about future and interactive technology uses and applications. I think that was fascinating as far as things around using Connect, using gestural interaction, using NUI interfaces. Was very fascinating. And then also doing another discussion this afternoon on the content lightning round, just content strategies and sort of what are new approaches to developing these digital experiences. So it really kind of ran it ran the whole gamut on what I was exposed to this week. So it's nice, you see old friends and new friends, and it's nice. It's a nice little environment to really just grow yourself and connect with people. So, I think for us, it exposes us to where the industry is at. What are some new technologies in the horizon? What are, even to the point of, what are some of the vendors that we work with already? It gives us an opportunity to meet them face to face, all underneath one roof. Because it's always hard to keep in communication, but it's always nice to meet them head on, to be able to see their technology, in real life, and actually even explore some other vendors that maybe we were unaware of or just unfamiliar with. So it's definitely a must to be here. It's hard to find this replicated anywhere else. I think a lot of other ones that we go to struggle. I think they try to pull a variety of different companies and underneath one roof. And so I think for that alone, the variety is really very critical and crucial. So I'm at the Digital Signage Expo, and this is where we come every year to connect with the industry.